friends, here's a fact that might surprise you. $1 today only buys about 93% of what it could just 1 year ago, which basically means the prices on pretty much everything we buy on a day-to-day basis has risen. So I wanted to just break down some of the simplest, most practical ways that I like to save money when I am budgeting, trying to save, or just combating general inflation. Number one is to buy generic. On occasion, it can be worth spending a little extra money for something name brand. Sometimes these are better products. I'm not gonna pretend like they aren't, but falling into the habit of always buying name brand means you are spending anywhere from 20 to 30% more, often for the same product. There are so many categories where generic brand is just as good as name brand, especially things like dry goods, baking supplies, storage items, canned foods, medicines, and so much more. You can save quite a bit of money if you just consider swapping even half of your name brand products with generic. Next up, use the one thing in, one thing out rule. The one thing in, one thing out rule is pretty simple. The idea is that when you buy something new in any given category, you need to remove a comparable thing in that category. For example, if you want to buy a pair of shoes, you need to get rid of a pair of shoes that you own already. If you want to add a new home decor piece, you need to get rid of a home decor piece that you already have. I find that this little rule not only helps with unnecessary clutter in my home, but it makes me more conscious of what I am buying. If I know I have to get rid of something to make room to buy something new, I'm less likely to spend frivolously. Why can't I say that word today? Frivolously. You know what I mean. I'm not just gonna spend just to spend. Next up, stop getting takeout so much. Listen, I get it. Takeout's easy, it's convenient, you don't have to cook, you don't have to clean, it saves you time, but it's also insanely expensive. I recently read an article on Forbes that found that getting takeout versus cooking at home is about 5 times more expensive. That means that you can eat a meal for about $4 a person at home versus $20 per person with takeout. So if you're really looking for some ways to save money, that's one of the first places to cut. Whenever my husband and I want to save, we usually instate a $25 a week rule for our takeout, and it saves us tons. Next up, cancel those subscriptions. Everything is a subscription nowadays. That's just how they get you. They lock you into those little reoccurring subscriptions and you pay a little each month. And if it's something that you use, then that's all fine and well. It's fine to be in subscriptions for things you use, but what I'm talking about, those ones that you signed up for and then you forgot about, and now you're getting charged for them every single month. And even if it's just a few dollars, a few of those every month can really add up. Unfortunately, sometimes finding and locating all of these subscriptions can be really hard, and that's why you kind of end up with these subscriptions that you're not using but you're paying for. But I've actually found a really simple solution to that, and that is truebill. Also, thanks to truebill for sponsoring today's video. Now, truebill is an all-in-one finance app. It allows you to manage subscriptions, lower bills, budget, build your savings, and a lot more. And one of the features that I love is their cancel subscription option. What the app does is it securely identifies reoccurring charges for you. Then, if you find one you don't want anymore, you can just easily cancel it with just a tap. It is so simple. You can easily see all your subscriptions, identify the ones that you are no longer using, and literally cancel them right from the app. You can also download this app totally for free by heading to truebill.com/butfirstcoffee, or just click the link in the video description down below. Next on my list is to take a look at your grocery spending. One of my favorite places to look when I want to save some cash is my grocery spending. Like I said earlier, food prices just keep going up. You're probably not alone if you feel like your grocery budget is constantly getting out of hand, and it is so easy for this to happen. You go grocery shopping for the week and you stay on track, but then you gotta stop midweek for a few things, and then you swing by on Saturday morning, and very quickly you are spending more than you wanted to at the grocery store. I find that sticking to a really hard and fast budget with groceries can really help me prevent that line item from overflowing. Again, truebill can actually be really helpful here. Using their app, you can easily set budgets and then automatically monitor your spending by category. It'll even send you friendly little notifications when you've exceeded them to help you stay on track. Next up, take a look at your Amazon spending. Another spot that is always important to check is Amazon spending. Every single month, it can be another one of those sneaky spots where extra money is being spent, and I'll be honest, between the pandemic and then having a second baby, I got into a pretty bad habit of just relying on the convenience of Amazon a little too much. One of my favorite save money hacks for Amazon is the add to cart trick. Whenever I think of something that I need, I add it to my cart, and my husband does the same. Then, once a week, we'll go to our cart together and decide what we actually need to buy and make one purchase. Often seeing all the little things we've added in the cart over the week together as a total price is enough to make us say, okay, we don't need all of this. You know, it's really easy to justify it when you're doing it as one-off purchases, $10 here, $18 there, but then when you see $150 of things in your cart for 1 week, it's a little more sobering and makes it really easy for you to cut out unnecessary things that you don't need to buy. Next up is the 24-hour rule. Going off of that Amazon trick, I love the 24-hour rule for any general buying. So this works really good for big and small purchases. If you want to buy something, you add it to your cart and then keep the tab open and make yourself wait 24 hours before you can purchase it. This can help decrease impulse buys and save you unnecessary money. Unnecessary money? No, everybody wants unnecessary money. I would like some unnecessary money to show up. Unnecessary spending. It's going to help you prevent unnecessary spending. Next on my list is decluttering, which might not be something that comes to your mind right away when you think of saving money, but it actually can help quite a bit for a handful of reasons. One, right off the bat, when you declutter and get organized, you're going to have a better idea of where all your stuff is. Have you ever had to buy something that you're sure you owned, but you just couldn't find it? Yeah, me too. But getting decluttered is going to help you with that because now you'll know where your stuff is. It's going to be easier to find things when you're looking for it. Second, sometimes you'll find things you forgot you had. You know, as you're decluttering, maybe you find some toys for the kids, a book you forgot you were going to read, some crafting stuff. It helps you use up the stuff you already own, so you don't need to go and buy more. And lastly, if you're doing a big declutter and you have some spare stuff, sell it on Facebook Marketplace and make yourself a little bit of extra cash. I've tried a handful of different options for selling stuff. Usually I don't sell small things, but if I have a piece of furniture, I'll sell it. I've tried like Letgo, OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist. I find that Facebook Marketplace works best for me, but if you have one you like better, let us know in the comments down below. My next tip is to think big, but start small. So what does this mean? Well, you want to think big as far as your goals. This gives you push and motivation. Maybe it's paying off debt, saving for a house, whatever. You want to think big, but you need to start small. So say your goal is to pay off $15,000 in debt. You want to look at all the different cards and loans that make that up and then work on the smallest one first. Sometimes looking at the mountain makes it feel overwhelming, but if you look at just getting over the next ledge, it feels a lot more attainable and it gives you a lot more motivation to make good choices and to keep going at what you're doing when you get like little wins along the way. Next up, try no spend month. This is one of my favorite ways to get back on spending, to get my spending back on track. When it's sort of gotten out of control. Really great this time of year, especially after holiday spending. So this is essentially where you buy nothing for a month beyond your absolute basic necessities. This means no extra goodies, no takeout, no gifts, no clothing, nothing. If you prefer, you can make it a little different, like no online shopping or no makeup and clothes, whatever. Personally, I like doing the nothing option because it's only 1 month and it's kind of like an all or nothing thing. And it sounds really easy to say you're not going to buy anything for like a whole month, but it's actually a lot harder than it sounds. You'll realize you've gotten into a really bad habit of just a lot of little purchases throughout the week. And in addition, you're essentially resetting your spending habit. To me, spending is a lot like any other habit. The more we do, the more our body just kind of does it. And the less we do, the less our mind just kind of defaults to doing less. By stopping all spending for a month, it kind of acts as like a reset for your spending habits. Next is try writing down every single thing you buy. This last little trick I love to gain perspective on spending and save money. You're gonna write everything down you buy for an entire month. Every time you buy something, you're gonna write it down and write the cost. This is essentially kind of the same idea of like doing a food journal. The act of writing it down and seeing all of your purchases down on paper makes it feel a lot more concrete, especially in this day and age when so many of our transactions are electronically, we don't necessarily see them. When you constantly have to pull out your notepad to write down another expense, you can quickly see how much things add up. I know it sounds so basic and simple, but I've actually done this and it can be super eye-opening and help you prevent from buying just like some random things. It's almost like every time you write it down, you're kind of having to admit to this thing that you're buying. And you're like, oh my God, I really have to write down that I bought this thing. I know I didn't really need it. You know, it's sort of like an accountability coach. All right, my friends, that does it. That was it 12? It was like 11 or 12 really simple, practical ways that you can save money every single day. None of these are crazy or like require you to change your life. They're just little tiny changes that you can make to help you save some money. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you all in my next video.